Hello, hello. Thank you for tuning in to The Awakening. Today I have a very, very special guest, my big sister. And, and her name is Tameshia Allgood. Yes, she is the
Mhm.
older sibling.
Yes.
And today I just want to thank you, Misha, for coming on because this is a topic that a lot of people do not discuss, a lot of people do not pay attention to, and a lot of people just overlook the situation.
Mhm.
And that is blended family. How did I? Everybody always know that I always talk about family oriented issues and for family oriented situations.
Right.
But the one thing that I have not discussed coming from the kids' point of view. I
Mhm.
mean, it was like I think I was what about Daniel is what just turned 35, 36, something like that.
Mhm.
This
Mhm. Yes.
So here I am, 40, none of your business. So we're gonna subtract, add, calculate. It's been over 40 years, at least
Yeah.
39
Yeah.
years that we have blended families. And when I say blended
Mhm.
families, our parents was not married.
Right.
Uh, my stepfather, aka my father, William Allgood Senior. Um, I do have, my birth father. No disrespect to my other family or none of that,
Right.
but this is a conversation that needs to be hashed, and this is a conversation that people need to discuss because it's an important topic as far as the
Mhm.
decisions that we make when we blend families and how does it affect the child and how did it affect, it's not a turn on and off relationship, especially when you
Uh-uh.
growing up in the same house and you
Mhm.
all in the same roof. And so,
Mhm.
when, like I say, I have talked about this subject before, but I never spoke on it coming from me and my sisters. Me and my sisters. You know what I'm saying? How what we experienced as blended families. And I must
Mhm.
say, and I always, when I say the all goods, when you put Shontal Bettis, you have to include Shontal Allgood as well because for me, there was not a difference.
Mhm. Mhm.
Tears
Well,
me up, so I may have to pass you the mic because I'm a crybaby when it comes to this subject. So
right. I look, my eyes tears up all the time after, whatever. But anyway, I'm such a crybaby now. I don't know what's going on with me. So, um, when you guys were
girl,
introduced to us, and we introduced, well, as mom and dad introduced us together when we was little, I really didn't have no, from me, I really was like, oh, here goes some more friends for me to play with because we're not understanding as children that we finna be family. These are some more
yeah,
friends. I'm like, yes, I got some more friends to play with. And as time goes on, and when dad was staying with your mom and we would come visit, that's when it clicked into my head, oh, these are finna be some more my sisters and brothers. They not just friends, like playground friends. Y'all go
right,
that way and I go that way. No, we're finna see each other every weekend. So,
right.
my experience with having more responsibility of being a big sister
That
and
part.
everything. So it was more as I know it was a good feeling for me to have, more responsibility because I can tell people what to do. Don't be like that, Sean. I'm bossy. But anyway, so, but as growing up with, what I think is when parents get together, they don't understand that it truly affects the children as well. You know, just
Hmm.
because you guys like each other, that doesn't mean that the kids gonna like each other. And just so happen, we loved each other. We played well
Right, that part.
together. Right. We had so much I mean, when we used to go outside and just be playing and just doing all kinds of stuff, dancing to music, we really, in my opinion, coming from my standpoint now, that's how I'm looking at it, that I enjoy each and every one of you because it was more as love. You know what I'm saying? It was more as if I look at some people, relationship today with their sisters and they have sisters and stuff like that. It is off the wall. People can't even talk to each other, even though they
Off the
live
chart.
miles away. They can't even hold a conversation without being mad at each other. And for what? And for what?
Hmm.
So I look at it as I am the gatekeeper to keeping us close, and I think if I was one of those
I
sisters
like it.
that was mean and despiteful, and I was mean a little bit now, that's only to make you who the woman that you are today. So, with that being said, um, yeah, I just think our childhood, in my opinion, was good. I mean, because you know what you got to say. I'm just gonna keep saying the same thing.
So for me, it was like I was young, so I can't really remember the time frame. I remember vaguely at parts, um, but I it's like the only part I vaguely remember being that young when meeting y'all is meeting y'all was at grandma's house, and so that part I remember like the back of my hand.
Okay,
And Lady, is that the dog name, Lady? They used to run
who
around
dog?
us, the big dog. What was that dog name? I remember. I
I
remember.
don't. I only remember that orange cat. I do not remember a dog.
You remember that big dog?
They had
Misha,
so
it was
many
a big
dogs.
dog. But it was a big
Yeah.
dog. I can't remember. But anyway,
Mhm.
um, when I so as the relationship uh kept going with mama and daddy, and it was like it was something that struck me, and as I got older
Mhm.
that made me forever grateful, because
Right.
when you blend in families like you said,
Mhm.
it no one ever thinks about the child,
Mm.
and it came to the point where as they was blending, even when they wasn't together, it's that part for me.
Right.
This is the part that truly speaks for itself when you say, that's my sister, I love her, and that's my brother, I love him.
Mhm.
This is the part
Yes.
that stuck out to me the most, because even when they separated, the
Mhm.
relationship did not end. It was
Right.
like you still was coming over to the house, we still was going over to grandma's house. It never changes. And
Exactly.
if you was to go, I wish I could show y'all a picture of when you walk into this house to this day.
Mm.
Me, it was okay. Let me go back a few.
Okay.
It's 8 of us total. Really, at
Mhm.
the time it
Was it
seven,
8?
six. No, at the time it was six. It
Okay.
was
Yeah.
me,
Yeah. Yeah.
you, Kim, and then it
Mhm.
was the boys. And
Right.
so, uh, when they met, like I said, it was just 4 of us. Along came, Precious and Treese. So them the
Right.
babies of the clan. They don't know none. They in that thing, but they ain't seen no struggles like we seen.
Girl, what
They
you
didn't get to
saying?
witness. They didn't get to
Exactly.
witness and have those type of fun times like we
Look,
had.
they don't know nothing about stuffing clothes in the tub. They don't know nothing about that period.
That look, they don't know nothing about it. They don't know nothing about going in that. Look, what they don't know is going back there in that tree picking them plums.
Baby,
After you get
reaching
them
over by that
plums out the
dog. Remember that dog that
look,
was on the at the
look, they don't know nothing about that. And
nothing.
so it's for me, like I say, when you go in the house to this day, and here I am in my 40s, and it's
Mhm.
still And I may get teary, but y'all just look over the tears because this is a blessing tears because it's
Right.
very important when you blend families.
It
When
is.
you blending, like we said, it affects the kids, and it's like when you go in that house to this day, you see pictures of my mom, still in the house. You see pictures of us. You
It's
see pictures
true.
of everybody.
Mhm.
There's
Mhm.
no, but in the same sense, you got to be a strong woman
Mm.
to hold that. And it what got me when you said the gatekeeper. You the gatekeeper. You the big sister. And I feel
Mhm.
like I was blessed. Let me just
Mhm.
start off saying that amongst all. Me and my brother Kendrick was blessed because, on our father's side, it was only me and him that
Right.
basically wasn't all good by
Mhm.
blood. But
Right.
you could not tell.
Sure could.
There was nobody that dealt with us that did not know, oh, that's Charlie and Ola grandchild.
True.
That's Bubba and them kids.
That's true.
And
Mhm.
it was that anybody say Booger Town, hey, been there, done that. You can't tell me nothing about old Booger Town. Booger Town. You can't tell me nothing
Okay.
about them TL Westerns feeding during the summertime. Look, come on through.
Exactly.
Walk around the
Okay.
corner and whatever.
Yes.
So it
Yes.
was as I look back at it, I'm like, Lord,
Mhm.
I was able to experience the love of two grandparents. I didn't know
Yes.
my grandmother, my grandfather on my mom's side. He died before, you know, I
Well,
was.
can I say something real quick?
Uh huh.
The thing is with our grandparents on the Allgood side, they never showed no kind of favoritism. They
Never.
embraced if you would have brought six friends over there, she and granddad would have embraced every child that came
Every
over
child.
there. So that's another foundation, Sean, that speaks values when you bring in a blended family. It
Yeah.
has to go just not with the mom and dad, it has to rotate through his mom and her mom and within aunties, because the aunties on your side of the family, they embrace me too. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They always hug me, they always smile. It ain't no that ain't my niece. It was never that.
Girl,
So with
and like
grandmother, go ahead.
it is. I didn't even really think about that part.
See? And that's why we as adults, from children growing up from, you know, I don't want to say toddlers, but it was some toddlers in there, from
Yeah.
middle-aged children to teenagers. We literally spent our whole lives together.
Yeah. Did that.
We spent our whole lives together until the day we said, you know what? Greenville is this small. We need more.
Yeah.
And even when we moved out of town, we still, even though life got busy for us, we
Yeah.
still end up, we talk to each other, we see each other, because when you get grown, you get your family. You just can't, stop what you're doing.
Yeah.
But as you growing up under good conditions, and
That's it.
every day wasn't good. I'm gonna say that because what happened when you went home with your mom is what you experienced, and what
Yeah.
I went home with my mom is what I experienced. But
Yeah.
as we came together, we pushed mom and my mom, and we played and had fun. We was like, this is our saving point right here. When we're together, we're together. And when we go home, we'll deal with that when we go home.
Go on. Right. That part.
So, but you have to have conditional, everybody around there have to be accepted to helping this family and helping these children to blend together, because if granddaddy and grandmama and aunties and uncles, if they was all going against the grain, we wouldn't
It
have
would have
no
never worked.
relationship. It would have
It
never
would have never
worked.
worked. It would have never worked. And when she said, now I'm gonna tell you something. And grandma,
Mm,
like I said, I didn't have that dynamic, but I was able to
mm,
have it with my granddaddy. And when I say him and Kendrick had the same birthday, and that was
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
in itself was something. So when we used to do stuff, it was a connection.
Mhm.
Granddaddy was he was the goat. Okay, let me tell you guys something. There was no part. There was no, I don't, like she said, no matter who was over there, no matter what was going on, when he went and got candy bags from that store and them pickles, he knew exactly what every child liked.
Exactly.
So whenever he brought back, huh? Y'all these we was some pickle eating kids back in the day. We was some sour pickle eating kids back in the day with that them peppermint sticks. So and pig feet and pickle eggs.
Ooh,
We was some pickle
child.
children.
I'm
So
telling you.
he knew the fact that he knew
Mhm.
he took the time to
Mhm.
know every aspect of what each child like.
That's right.
That blows me. My
Yeah.
grandmother, and she was my grandmother.
Mhm.
She treated me no different. I was able to have two, and so
Exactly.
on my mom's side and on daddy's side, and so
Mhm.
it was she didn't treat me no different. She didn't look
Mm.
at me no different. I remember when I got pregnant, she was like, "Girl, you done finally had a baby." When I brought my baby home, it was like, to me, hush, it was like, look at my great granddaughter, and
Mm.
that's what we need, man. I look at this generation now, and I'm like, where y'all folks come from? Like, why y'all can't get along? And one of my prayers when before I got married, and I'm happy you brought up, it starts at the head. It starts with that bigger generation because that was
Mhm.
one of the things
Yes.
that I prayed for. Lord, when you
Yeah.
bless me with my husband, when my husband come along, I want a Ruth and Naomi relationship with his
Mhm.
mother because that's gonna be the platform. So by me having bringing in a daughter, and my
Yes.
husband having so many kids and so many, I wanted my daughter to experience that relationship like I had with my
Right.
grandma, Ola, and my granny. I wanted that.
Right.
I didn't
But you
want
know
her to
what?
experience nothing else.
But you know what? It don't always work out that way.
It don't.
And I don't know why it doesn't. Everybody is different. So with grandmother them, they was like more rooted to how they was raised. It's a different season and a different time. And everybody don't see eye to eye. And you try to make it see eye to eye, but most mother-in-laws they just and most father-in-laws just and it just don't work out that way. Even you wanted to do that so bad in your heart because see, you know how you was raised by the
Right.
pattern of how you saw you was being treated by people that wasn't really your family. So you want that
Right.
same consistency in your life for your children. But in order for that to happen, you're gonna have to do a lot of sitting down and thinking for yourself, is it worth it? Because that person is really rubbing against you, right? And you
Right.
try
Right.
your best to make it happen, but you sometimes you have to take your focus
But
on your
then I
child and make them happy.
And not only that, I think the loss is the spiritual loss because our grandparents, grandmama was a praying grandmama.
Mm.
Now, I mean, that's
Mhm.
hands down because when you
Mhm.
love, that's love is of God. And
Yes.
grandma had that agape love. Granddaddy had that agape love. So when you
Yes.
go
We
into
was going to church with
these,
them. We was all at the look
exactly,
how crazy that is. We was all at the look. We ate together. We slept together. We played together. We
we
went to
prayed
church
together,
together. Baby, we did everything together as a blended
together.
family.
And it
So
wasn't no discord. It was
it
never
wasn't.
a discord. And it may have been like, well, you playing with her more. And as I look back, we all gave each other nicknames. I'm still
Yeah.
feeling some type of way about my nickname. And yes, I am finna put that nickname out there.
What's
Because
your
I'm finna tell you
nickname?
yours.
What was
French
it?
fry. Yours was French fry.
That's because
Mine
I
was
was
flipper.
skinny. I
Yeah,
remember
you was
Flipper, but
scared.
I don't know why. Why do we give you that nickname? Why did we give you that nickname?
Because I love the show, Flipper. I love the show. I love watching the show. Granddaddy used to have that TV on wrestling so much, and he got mad that they were
Mm.
fussing at me because I turned the show on Flipper.
Oh my
And there you
goodness.
go. He was like, I was watching it. Why you can't go in the room? Why you can't? I love
Yeah.
Flipper, y'all. I'm sorry. And Punky Brewster. I love them shows back in the day,
Yes,
but I
yes, you
like
did.
them.
I remember.
Whatever. But we
But
all
you know
had
what?
gave each other nicknames. So
Yeah, I think
go ahead.
you know what? I want to turn it just a little bit if you don't mind. We did have some bad times too. I
Yeah,
mean, we did have some bad times. It wasn't all goody goody two shoes and everything.
yeah.
We did fight. We didn't fight, but we picked on you just a little
We
bit.
right. That's what I said. We joined forces, so that's where the name calling came in. That's how the name calling came because it was times where we y'all be against but you know what? Now that I think about it, it was
Mhm.
never like
Mm-mm.
you and y'all against me and Kenny. It was
Right.
either Kenny on y'all team or I was on
Yeah.
y'all team. It was always something like that, and so that's how the name calling came in.
Right.
But like I say, as we look back, we did have bad times. I remember
Mhm.
it was a few times where it was just it was bad. But at the end of the day, the bad
Yes.
times never outweighed the good times.
Never, never. And you
We
know
knew
what? We
how
can't
to
even
come to
really specify what we was really arguing about. We had no clue. I really don't
I
understand.
know
It
what
was
we were arguing
children.
about. Yeah, because we were arguing about granddaddy who got the biggest pickle,
Oh,
who
see,
you ugly. See, that's
uh,
what I'm saying. It was stuff like that. And
right.
see, for a long time, for a long time, and when we say blended family, I'm gonna bring up some of the things that I experienced. It was
Okay.
like they was more able to go. See, Georgia
Mm.
Ann didn't play with me. I
Mm-mm.
so I was going to spend the night over their house.
Mm.
So instead, but they always wanted to come over our house. I'm like, no,
Mm.
let me spend the night over your house so I can go with
Mm.
y'all. So they used to go to Roller World. I couldn't go to Roller World like that.
Mm.
So
Mm. Girl, and I
it
was
was
looking
like
at
I
sister.
used
I was gonna have you out there too, but Mama must have knew that I was gonna have you. Like, girl, she must have knew that I was gonna have you out there too. Be like, Mom, can we go? It's a Tuesday night. Okay, it's fine.
look, it's Bible class. She had us at church. I remember when they
Yeah.
look. Do you remember when I told you because you weren't there because y'all was at Roller World that night. And
Mm.
so she would not let me spend the night because we had Bible study. And
Yeah.
him is everybody in the family join the church, and I'm sitting up there in the back of the church unfold because I want to go with my sister them. I want to go to Run World. No, I ain't finna
Right.
join no church. I want to go skating. And so
Yeah.
it was like situations like that, and not only that, as I used to go over her house, her mama didn't treat me no different. It was
Mm.
to this day. And it's crazy because
Right.
you don't see that. You
But can
don't
you
see that.
imagine blended families that don't get along? If I may say, I remember seeing this article one time where this blended family got together and the stepdaughter had put hair remover over in the lady's shampoo child. I said, that's just too much.
But they right. They cough different. These kids cough
Mm,
different.
I
Nowadays
know.
I really feel like kids have more of a say so, and some of it comes from the different dynamics of the
Mhm.
families
Mhm.
and the change, and then the age gap.
Mm.
Grandmama and them
Yeah.
was much older.
Yeah.
Mama and them was much younger, and in their ages, and so they was able to listen to the elders, as you may say.
Mhm.
And so
Right.
we had that example. You had it, like you say, you had grandparents.
Yeah.
Not saying today, grandparents today, we talking about 40, 50 years old with grandkids. I mean, Heck, they trying to
Yes.
get down and party more than the kids. So that example is,
It's true.
girl, that's over their
Yes.
heads. I mean, they don't care. They don't want to watch no kids. And
They
so
don't.
I'm just
They
saying. And
don't.
if they do want to watch the kids, and grandmama, let me just edify this one thing. When it came to gift giving, when it
Mm.
came to food,
Yes.
when
It
it
was
came
equal.
to,
Mm-hmm.
it was equal and it stretched. I did
Exactly.
not ever, I didn't know nothing about no chitlins, bro. I wasn't finna eat no chitlins because they stink. But this girl
Mm.
here and grandmama talking about, you never know something until you taste it, because mama didn't do stuff
Mm.
like that. She said, "Put
Yeah.
Sean, just put the hot." I remember you told him, just put hot sauce on it. It tastes better with hot sauce.
Exactly. I
And
do.
from
If
that
I
point
eat them
on,
today, I will put ketchup on, but I don't eat that no more. I would
please
put
don't eat
ketchup
them no
on
more.
mine, but I don't eat them no more. But if I do, I would put ketchup on them. But I also
Well,
want to
that's
go
good. You
back to
don't eat
like
them
when
no
we
more.
spent, right, when we spent the night all over to the grandparents' house or whatever. How about what woke you up in the morning?
Bruh, let me tell y'all something. When I say praying grandmama, she ain't play. I used to think that grandma was crazy. I was like, this
Mm,
woman here just be, and I used to think she was. The prayers was so demanding in the spirit
yes,
realm that
yes.
you actually thought that she was in there fight. She was literally going off on
And she
that
was. She
person
was
in
in
the.
there
She
fighting. She
was, but she
was.
was. It's like in your face. Like I was like, did Granddaddy get caught? One day she was in there praying for
Exactly.
Granddaddy so hard. I'm like, is he cheating? Did he got a whole? Because her prayers was just that she was going just that hard, and you don't see that nowadays.
Exactly. Mm-mm.
That's what used to wake me
Mm-mm.
up. Them prayers. Them
That
prayers
too,
used to
and the
wake me up, honey.
smell of breakfast in the morning.
Food. Food.
Baby, we'll have a hot, ooh, them pancakes, baby.
Oh God. Oh
And they'll
Lord
be
have
this
mercy.
little,
So
Sean. Sean, remember they be this little? But they were so good. You have about 20 of them little pancakes on your plate. They be
pancakes.
so good.
Girl, and do you remember when we end up? Mama was like, "Okay, my mama, when y'all came over to the house, I think we was staying on Giving Street or something, and she made us. She
Okay.
was like, y'all can cook breakfast, and me and Kim went up in there and cooked the pancakes. They was half done, the sausage was half done, and everything was half
Yes.
done. We like, let's just stay at grandma's house from this day forward. We ain't gonna go down and eat some cereal, and we left that
Exactly.
alone.
And you know what? I
And
don't remember. I don't remember eating cereal at grandma's house. To be honest, I remember granddaddy used to eat the cornflakes, but she would get
yeah,
and see that's another thing. You got to cooking. You have to be receptive to that, and that's what's wrong with some of these
yeah.
grandparents today. They don't want to cook for. They want to take you to the McDonald's and things. You got to get in there and cook a 4 course meal every day, all day. But I know we
And
can't
that's
do that
grandma.
because we live in a different world.
And them groceries high.
You
Them
sure
groceries
know what
high.
to say.
And see,
Exactly.
grandma, she used to, and it used to get to the point where granddaddy didn't eat a lot of stuff. Like he didn't eat chicken, so
Yeah.
she would cook different stuff for everybody
Mm,
according
mm,
to
mm.
she knew what me and Kitty May weren't used to. She knew we
Mm-hmm.
weren't used to chitlins, or she knew we weren't used. So she
Exactly.
used to. That's that love that she could have been
Yes.
like, okay, you gonna eat what I put on this plate, but she didn't do that to us.
Exactly.
And
No, she did not.
it's like blending families is so important on every level,
Yes.
and you
On
have
every
to.
level.
And to this day, I tell I don't call daddy. If it's some daddy events or daddy, God forgive me because I'm still working in that area. I'm an all
Okay.
good all day long. He loved
Oh,
he loved me like I was his child.
he
I
do.
remember I remember the emotional part. Some
Mm-hmm.
people tend to don't understand that it's more than just financial when you're dealing with step
And
parent. It's
see
the
the thing,
emotional part.
the thing with that is, see, he's my real dad, right? And my mom and him they didn't live together. So you experienced what I should have experienced. And now that I'm thinking about it, I didn't live with my dad. I lived with my mom, but you live with my dad. So you got that, what you're speaking on, you got
Yeah,
that daughter and father closeness that I didn't
yeah,
really receive until I was much older, and I had to put a lot of stuff out of my head to be like, this is your dad. He never did nothing to you. So, why you so mad at him? But I know why I was mad, but I had to put that to the side. But
right,
you receive the hugs and the daughter talks, and and,
right.
and that's a good thing because he is a good person and all that, and I do love him. But I mean, you got what I wanted, but it's okay.
I was his favorite. Look,
I'll let you have that one.
look, look. I was his favorite, but I'm grateful.
Hmm.
I'm
Yes.
forever grateful, and to this day, I tell him all the time. I just talked to him the other day. I was like, "Daddy, what you doing?" Oh, babe, I'm finna go to bed. I was like, "Oh, you called me the other day? Did I?" I said, "Yeah, you did." And it's like I feel bad in a sense. I beat myself up for a long time because as life go on, you get older and you get young. I start
Hmm.
trying to build a different relationship with my own father,
Right.
and I had to learn not to put that pedestal. Try to take
Mm.
that level down because I'm
Right.
like, you ain't. If you ain't gonna love me like he loved me, I don't need to.
And you know what I
But
say
I
too? I
couldn't.
pattern men after granddaddy all the time. If you don't come home with a bag in your hand, where do you think you coming to? I don't care if it's a pack of 25 cents gum. Why you coming to this house with nothing in your hand? I don't get it. Our granddaddy came home every day with two canned pops. It didn't matter what flavor. He had some candy. He had some for grandma too. All of us. Why are you coming to this house with nothing in your hand? And you,
See,
child,
I try look, and I be trying to give these men, I try to give men a break because they don't make them like
look, don't
granddaddy.
get me started on this. Is the wrong conversation for me to have.
Look, and we gonna end this just like that. So, with that being said,
Okay.
I just want to say thank you, sisters, for coming on to
You're
speaking on building
welcome. You're
families, and
welcome.
to those that's listening and watching. When you blend family,
Mm,
take our time to think about how it's gonna affect your child because our
that's right.
relationship is in pair. It don't just stop with you and that person. This is a
That's
reflection.
right.
This is a life changing experience. Because it teaches you how to really
Mm-hmm.
love.
That's
And so when
true.
you blended families and you got kids, think about how your kids gonna be when you get grown. I mean, cause to this
Mm-hmm.
day, I feel like mama can call on you quick as she'll call on me because that's how we grew up. I can call on daddy
Mm,
quicker than that's how we grew up. And it's like
exactly. Mm-hmm.
we need that. We need that.
Mm-hmm.
We need that back.
Right.
It's not hard to blend a family. It's and when
Mm-mm.
we have birthday parties and getting have birthday party for the kids or whatever or get together,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it gives me so much joy that our parents can still be under one roof.
That's
And
true.
there's no disrespect. Hey, how
Mm-mm.
you doing? They may not collaborate and give each other hugs. They leave that for
R-
us. But
exactly.
there's never been a disrespect. And that's
Never.
what I love the
Mm-mm.
most.
Right. And
So
that's amongst us as well as us siblings. We respect each other and our boundaries and all that. And we actually love and care about each other, which is such a beautiful, it's just amazing how I just can't explain it because you just see other people and it's just like, that's not me and my sister now.
where they come
Y'all keep
from?
that energy
Baby,
over
y'all need
there.
to rub on
Mm-mm.
y'all head. Yeah,
Right.
that part. So
Mm-hmm.
I just want to thank you for coming on and having this conversation. But we got a part two. And so with
Okay.
that being said, I'm not gonna say bye. I'm gonna say
Mm-hmm.
we will see you later in just a feet week, another
Yes.
week or so.